The beautiful thing about learning is that no one can take it away from you. With this quote, I welcome everyone to the day of new opportunities. Good morning to one and all present here. It is my honor and privilege to welcome you all to the International Symposium on Technological Implication in Banking, Financial Service and Insurance sector. This event brings together some of the brightest minds, innovative thinkers and passionate professionals to share their insights, exchange ideas and collaborate on shaping the future of our field. Together we can turn the day into a platform of progress and growth. Once again, I welcome you all to this one-day international symposium.
Prayer is where the actions. With that being said, let us invoke the blessings of Tamil Anthem. I request the gathering to rise up for the prayer song. Thank you, everyone.
Let's celebrate our gathering with a joyful welcome dance. Now I invite Ms. Subharanani from First BCom Information Technology to perform the welcome dance. Thank you, Subhaharini, for the enthusiastic and graceful performance. Light symbolizes the divine within us, reminding us to awaken our inner wisdom and spread the light of positivity where we go. Respected professors and academicians, it is with great pleasure and honor that we now begin the auspicious ceremony of lighting the lamp, a tradition that signifies the dispelling of darkness and the journey towards knowledge, wisdom and enlightenment. I invite Professor Dr. Vinita Guptan, Vice Chancellor, Saito University, Malaysia, Mrs. Gayatri Ananthakrishnan, Secretary, KPR College of Arts, Science and Research, Dr. P. Sharmila, Principal in Charge and Dean School of Computing Science and Student Affair Committee, Dr. Kumina Devi, Dean and Dr. R. Prema, Assistant Professor and Head Department of BCom Information Technology on the stage to illuminate the path forward as we embark on the day of inspiration and excellence by lighting the lamp.
If you can visualize it, you can actualize it. Let us enjoy the glorious moment of KPR Anthem in the form of video.
சிறகை விரிக்கும் கோவையின் பறவை நான் தரமே எங்கள் தாரகமே கரிசல் பூமியில் தானம் பாடிடும் கதிர்களின் உலகே பருத்தியின் விளைவை துகிலாய் மாற்றிடும் எங்கள் கரம் ஆலைகள் வளருதுங்க மனதில் அன்பும் பெருகுதுங்க கல்வியின் பெருமையிலும் எங்கள் நிறுவனம் ஒன்றாக பண்பாடுவோம் ஒன்றாக கொண்டாடுவோம் ஒன்றாக பண்பாடுவோம் ஒன்றாக கொண்டாடுவோம்
Now, it is the time to project a promo video of our department. We, the Department of BCom Information Technology, is proud to present our promotional video, which showcases the core values, achievements, and the exciting future that lies ahead. Whether you are new to our story or have been part of it for a long time, this video highlights our passion for innovation and our commitment to excellence. Here is the video for you. Hope you found the video interesting. Next, the students of BCom Information Technology have prepared a special video for our eminent chief guest, Dr. Vinita Guptan.
Professor Dr. Vinitha Guptan, Vice Chancellor, Saito University College. A strategic and visionary leader, currently serving as Vice Chancellor of Saito University College, with a distinguished career including roles as former Dean of Taylor's Business School and Head of Education and Research for the Malaysian Institute of Certified Public Accountants. With over 20 years of leadership experience, she excels in driving goals related to quality, sustainability, research, and enrollment. A chartered accountant with a doctorate, she is featured in Britishpedia's Malaysia's Most Successful People, 2022. Her leadership, marked by authenticity and ethical standards, has significantly impacted service learning and community engagement across Southeast Asia. She is also involved in social enterprise projects in Myanmar and West Africa. Her expertise spans coaching, mentoring, and global education program development. A recognized researcher and award-winning speaker, she serves on international boards, including the Chartered Management Institute and UNESCAP, and holds visiting professorships and advisory roles at universities worldwide. We are truly honored to have such a distinguished and knowledgeable resource person with us at this symposium. Your insights and expertise greatly enrich this event.
Thank you for creating a wonderful video of our chief guest students.
Now, I request our chief guest, Professor Dr. Vinita Guptan, Mrs. Gayatri Anandakrishnan, Dr. P. Sharmila, Dr. K. Kumra Devi, and Dr. R. Prema to occupy their respective seats on the dais.
Talent win games, but teamwork and intelligence win championships. Here, a heartily welcome to encompass you all. May I now invite Dr. Prema, Head Department of BCom Information Technology, to deliver the welcome address.
been a guiding force behind all our endeavors. Your visionary leadership and unwavering support have been instrumental in shaping the academic and cultural landscape of our institution. Welcome you, ma'am. We wholeheartedly welcome our team leader, Dr. P. Geeta, Principal, who has always been the backbone of all our endeavors, even in her absence today. Next, we warmly welcome Dr. K. Kumara Devi, our Dean, Academics and School of Commerce, who has consistently supported all our fruitful activities. Welcome you, ma'am. We also welcome Dr. P. Sarmila, Dean, School of Computing Science and Principal in charge for facilitating the gathering. Welcome you, ma'am. We would like to extend a warm welcome to all the heads of various departments, faculty members and system technical team who are joining us today. Finally, we extend a heartfelt welcome to all our participants from various colleges and beloved students who are going to actively participate in the thought-provoking symposium. Once again, I welcome you all. Thank you.
Thank you for your heartwarming words of welcome, ma'am.
In the spirit of knowledge and collaboration, let us explore new horizons together. Let us now invite Dr. K. Kumara Devi, Dean Academics and School of Commerce, to deliver the overview of the International Symposium.
Most respected guest, Professor Vinita Guptan, Vice Chancellor, Saito University, Malaysia, respected Secretary Dr. Gayatri Krishnan, Dean, School of Computing Science and Student Circle Dr. Sharmila, Head Department of Commerce, IT Dr. Prema, various professors of our team, head of the departments of Department of School of Commerce, and other department heads, faculty friends, delegates from other institutes and universities, and our own children, present media, technology department. So once again, good morning to all. Today is a great gathering with blessings of God Almighty. The gathering is called Connect to Connect. Why I am saying Connect to Connect? This is a symposium jointly organized between KPR College of Arts and Science and Saito University to connect you all in the next generation, guys. This is what the mission of this symposium. So Department of BCom IT initiated this program with collaborative Saito. The technologies, you know very well, we are living in techno era. So every minute there is a change. So today's technology development, tomorrow's obsolescence. Like that, every minute we have to connect ourselves to connect of this kind of rights. This is what the Department of BCom IT to initiate this concept called technological implications in banking, insurance and finance sector, BFI sector. Lot of technological changes have happened now. You know very well, particularly our banking sector, the fintech is playing a vital role to make customer enhance their business activities. So the reshaping of all our business transactions. That is what the department is initiating this conference. Not only fintech, we have big data analytics, blockchain technology, then wearable technologies, 5G. So many upcomings are we are discussing this symposium now. This symposium is basically aimed to connect you all to discussing, exploring the technologies innovations for next generation development. This is what the forum we are organizing here. As a convener of this symposium, I am very much happy to welcome you all for this great connect today. So this is what I aim. Actually, we have our own legacy. KPR College, we have our own legacy. We are connecting whoever we have such an intellectual. That's the reason we connect Vinita Guptan here today. So ma'am, such a vibrant in their field, particularly ma'am started her journey as chartered accountant, now elevating as an academician, then serving to the society, particularly underdeveloped children in Malaysia. So entire institution, very hats off to your service, ma'am. So this is the fourth initiative of our School of Commerce in this particular academic year. The year 24-25, our department, there are 7 departments under our school. Each department had their own legacy for conducting conference. Particularly, we start with the Department of Commerce. They are concentrating on entrepreneur and development. BCom CA department, the technological developments and the innovation. Again, the department of B&A, they are concentrating for banking and practice are like that. Business analytics department, their own way, they are conducting the programming analytics related conferences. Then we have auditor conclave, particularly professional accounting department. Their mission is to making all people in a qualified chartered accountant like that. So this is an initiative of BCom IT today. E-commerce also collaborated with the department of BCom C, the conducted program. Why I am saying our School of Commerce is one way or other to make our children very strong in their domain. That's why we bring people like Vinita Guptan, so we make you to fit for future world like that. This is what our School of Commerce practicing, all kind of international seminars, conferences, symposium, auditor conclave. Now it is a lineup for this symposium on technological implications in BFI sector. So this is a great platform for all of you. Kindly make use of this platform. After this symposium inauguration, we can very fruitful events are going to be happen. That is a real brainstorming program. Definitely as a convener, I assure you that at end of the day, you will carry some kind of message for your career growth. With this note, once again, I welcome you all for the International Symposium. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mom, for conveying the detailed overview of this International Symposium.
True leaders understand that leadership is not about them, but about those they serve. May I now invite Mrs. Gayatri Ananthakrishnan, Secretary, KPR College of Art, Science and Research, to deliver the presidential address.
Good morning. Good morning. Very good morning to one and all present here. I am very happy to be here with all of you today and to have the great honor of welcoming our very esteemed chief guest here for the day, Dr. Vinita Guptan. As I was talking to ma'am on my way here, I understood that she's doing a lot of excellent work. I think we've all seen what she does as an academician. She's already very prolific. She's a chartered accountant and she's serving on many panels and she's doing a lot of great academic work. But one thing she told me that really stood out for me and I felt was a connect between what she's doing and what we as KPR are doing is she's the Vice Chancellor of Saito University, which provides full free education for 4,000 students. Starting from undergraduate and foundation courses till PhD, it's fully free. All these children that are studying with her are not only just studying, most of them are also working side by side and because they all come from situations of poverty and there is a need for them to also work alongside completing their education. And to be able to provide such a great service and education to such students, I think is a great work that you're doing. Ma'am, kudos to what you're doing. Thank you so much for your service. Apart from that, I think the topic for today, technological implications in banking, financial services and the insurance sector is something that is very uniquely positioned for all of us here because technology and commerce meeting, that is going to be the future and I think we should definitely thank our Dr. Prema and Kumunda Devi doctor for giving you the need of the hour in terms of what is required for you for your future. I think this is very important what the symposium is all about today. So I'm very happy that you're all here to gather and exchange knowledge on such an important topic and I am sure that it will be very useful for all of you and a lot of effort has gone in by the team to make sure that this symposium is a great success and the involvement and the utilization of this symposium by each and every one of you is going to dictate the success of this event. So I request you all to put in your full effort to make sure that this event is fully successful and to make sure that you all extract and derive as much knowledge and as much information from this as you can because we are all very lucky to be here with such eminent people who are going to informate us and educate us on these important topics. So I'm very fruitful day for all of us, and welcome one and all again. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your igniting words and presence.
Our greatest responsibility is to be a good ancestors, to build a legacy of knowledge, ethics, and humanity that transcends time. May I now request Dr. P. Sharmila, Principal in Charge, Dean, School of Computing Science, Students Affairs Committee, to deliver the felicitation address.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome all the dignitaries on and off the dais. I think I'm an odd man out here. There are only 2 eligibilities criteria for me to come right now in front of the podium and talk. One is the absence of our principal, Dr. Geeta. She is on an industrial visit on international, I think she has gone to Dubai. And the second eligibility criteria is the word technology. And I come from the School of Computing Science. So I think I passed the eligibility criteria to stand before you and tell you something about technology. Whether you love us or not, we'll be with you. Okay? You might love us, you might hate us, you might throw us away, okay? But we'll come with you. We'll come with you wherever you go, whether in the bike or in the car, in the kitchen or a living room. We even come to the bathrooms also. Yes, you all take your mobile phones to the toilets also. I know, because I have 2 adult kids. So you take to the bathroom also. So we know everything about you, you know. You take to the bedroom. We know everything about you. Gone are the days when they say, tell me who your friend are and I'll tell you what you are. No. Give me your mobile and I'll tell you what you are. See, in the future, we have something called lie detector or truth detector. It has in the police stations and cybers. Like, if somebody is saying a lie, they put the human being there, they'll check whether he's lying or not. I think in the future, they are not going to take the humans. They'll just enough that they capture your mobile, put it to a detector, and it will tell you whether you're good or bad or whatever it is. Even your mom doesn't know, your teachers doesn't know, your brothers and sisters doesn't know, your friend doesn't know, but your phone knows everything about you. So that is what the technology is. We change lives. We disrupt lives. Okay? We make the lives of the people upside down, both in the positive way and also in the negative way. But the technology doesn't turn. The usage of technology by the human beings is what changes people's life. See, the technology was invented only to lift the people who are downtrodden, like farmers and the patients, even in healthcare and in education. As we have our chief guest, she said, maybe we can start a global forum. When our dear friend Kumuda ma'am was talking to her, she said, we are going to sign an MOU, and she said we'll have a global forum where a faculty from her side and a faculty from our side can teach the underprivileged students. Where else can you find this kind of a soul-filling job? She is doing a wonderful job. That's what we were telling, ma'am, it's a soul-filling job. Teacher's job, it is a soul-filling job generally. But more than us, I think what she is doing is something, ma'am, thank you. It's really nice to share this dais with you. Teachers' jobs are always soul-filling, and you always love your teachers, I know. You know when you'll show your love to us? During the farewell day. First years, second years, third years, you will not listen to the teachers. On the final farewell day, we can see the video clipping saying that class advisor da ella, she is everything, HODs are everything, isn't it? Technology. But yeah, we love you all. See, when I say technology, even with the recent visit, our PM who went to the New York, he met Google CEO Sundar Pichai, and he stressed about the importance of artificial intelligence. Now everything has gone. Now we are booming into another era called artificial intelligence, where, who knows, maybe in due course of time, I'll not be here. A robot might come and give you a speech. It might happen. If not in the near future, maybe in 20 years and 30 years of time, the robotics can do the operations. The AI plays a very, very vital role, and that's what our Prime Minister was going on stressing. And the very important part, what he stressed is, he told Sundar Pichai to stress, to find the solutions in AI so that the people who are all downtrodden, the people who are in the agriculture can be helped. The concept of IoT helped the agriculturalists a lot. See, I hail from an agricultural family, and I remember my grandfather and my father, they used to get up at 12 o'clock, they used to get up at 1 o'clock, they used to get up at 3 o'clock, and they used to go to the farms because அப்போ தான் மோட்டார் கரண்ட் வரும்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. தட்ஸ் த டைம் த மோட்டார் கரண்ட் வில் பி. த மோட்டார் கரண்ட் டசன்ட் கம் டியூரிங் த டே. இட் யூஸ்வலி கம்ஸ் ஒன்லி இன் த odd hours of the night. So they used to go there. அப்போ அந்த மோட்டார் ஸ்விட்சை போட்டு நம்மளோட whichever land which we have, we do the irrigations. And without knowing, we have lost many of our lives because it's night. We have lot of insects, we have snakes, and we have lost lots of life in it. But the technology, when the technology came in, the IoT helped those people. No longer we need to go to switch on the motor light. IoT, okay, from my place, even for the son who is in US, he is saying his father, you need not go for the irrigation, you stay at home, I'll do it. So from US they on it, the irrigation is done. So that is where the technology plays a very, very vital role in improving the lives of the people. So I think today's session is going to be a very good session, and I can see many students here. I don't know whether you have come here to get an OD from your teachers or to see your friends or whatever it is. It might be any kind of reasons. But I just wanted to tell you one thing. Just listen, participate in the events what the department is conducting. You will definitely have a takeaway. You will learn something new every day, everywhere you attend a function, whether it's a personal function or a professional function or whether symposium. Try to learn something. So that is one thing which I wanted to tell you all, and I should definitely congratulate Dr. Prema and Dr. Kumuda for organizing this. So before moving on, let us leave the technology. I just wanted to tell you one word. Children, dear children, you are in the world of technology. I know you all have high dreams of getting more money and a big car and a big palatial house and cars. See, success is not defined by money. Success is defined by the way you carry yourself, your attitude towards others, your behavior towards others, and the words you speak with others. Please keep this in mind, and I wish every one of you a wonderful life ahead and a wonderful success, again, not in terms of money. I wanted to end this with the quote of my favorite writer. Bukkalam padipingla? Okay, fine. My favorite author is Balakumaran, and he says like this: Veedu vahanam vaanga punniyam thevayillai. What does it mean? You will grow up, you will get a veedu vaangala, you will get a car, you will have endless of wealth. Adukkalam punniyam thevayillai. Everybody will get, whether a good person or a bad person, invariably they'll come up in life. He says that உறவுகள் அமைய மட்டுமே புண்ணியம் தேவை. உறவுகள் in the sense it can be your blood relations or it can be your friends, it can be anybody. You can be a good human being like Vinita ma'am is doing. It's a wonderful relationship that she has with the children who are unknown. So for that you need that புண்ணியம்னு சொல்றாங்க தமிழ்ல. So வீடு வாகனம் வாங்க புண்ணியம் தேவையில்லை, உறவுகள் அமைய மட்டுமே புண்ணியம் தேவை. So you, in this era of technology, in the way you embrace the technology, please keep it in mind that we are all human beings, we have values, and we need to respect the values. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your passionate and enthusiastic words.
As a token of our appreciation, we would like to honor our esteemed chief guest, Professor Dr. Vinita Guptan, with a momentous gift and a shawl. I request our respected Secretary Ma'am, Mrs. Gayatri Ananthakrishnan, to do the honor. Thank you for accepting our token of love, ma'am.
Next, we move on to the MOU signing ceremony. This moment signifies our commitment to collaboration and shared success. I invite our distinguished guest, Professor Dr. Vinita Guptan and Secretary Mrs. Gayatri Ananthakrishnan, to formalize this important partnership. We are excited to sign this MOU with Saito University as it symbolizes our commitment to bridge the educational excellence and fostering stronger ties between our institutions for the ultimate benefit of our student communities. Thank you for making this MOU signing ceremony a great success. Thank you for the memento given to our Secretary, ma'am. Thank you for the memento, ma'am.
Great leaders don't set out to be a leader, they set out to make a difference. Now I invite Ms. Jennifer G. from 3rd BCom Information Technology to welcome the chief guest.
It is with great pride and excitement I take this moment to introduce our esteemed chief guest, Professor Dr. Vinita Guptan, a truly visionary academic leader who is currently serving as the Vice Chancellor of Saito University College, Malaysia. Her exceptional career spans over 2 decades of leadership, during which she has consistently driven an innovation in higher education. She is also a former Dean of Taylor's Business School and Head of Education and Research at the Malaysian Institute of Certified Public Accountants, further showcasing her extensive expertise in both academic and industry. She is recognized as one of the Malaysia's most successful people in British Pedia 2022. She is a chartered accountant with doctorate, blending her academic credential with real-world industry experience to provide insightful, unconventional, and forward-thinking solutions. She is also actively involved in international development projects with significant engagements in Myanmar and South Africa. Beyond her academic and professional accomplishment, she holds prominent roles with international organizations. She also holds adjunct and visiting professor roles globally, currently serving as the visiting professor at Myanmar Human Resource Institute. She is a fellow of Chartered Management Institute in UK and serves on the regional board of CMI in Malaysia. KPR College of Arts, Science and Research, Coimbatore feels proud to have such an eminent academician as chief guest for this international symposium. We are truly privileged to have her here today, who will share her insights and visions for the present generation. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to our distinguished chief guest, Professor Dr. Vinita Guptan, Vice Chancellor, Saito University, Malaysia. We wholeheartedly welcome you, ma'am.
Now it's my pleasure to invite our esteemed chief guest to take over the session. We look forward to hearing your insights and perspectives. Please join me in welcoming Professor Dr. Vinita Guptan.
Thank you very much. I think that was a very nice introduction. Firstly, I want to wish you all a very good morning. And let me just take a few moments to thank everybody who's made this possible. Firstly, Ms. Gayatri, who's just stepped out, for allowing this to happen. For Dean Ma'am, Dr. Prema, who's very persistent in trying to get me here. And I'm finally here. To Dr. Shamila and Dr. Prema, thank you very much. And to all the professors who has been very warm and welcoming to me. So, firstly, I want to start by saying, throughout the morning, everybody has said so many things about me. And I just want to set the record straight. I am no different from everybody else, right? I do exactly what all your professors do. I don't do anything different. They've made it sound like as if I do wildly crazy things. I don't, right? I do exactly what they do. So thank you for making me feel good, but I'm the same as everybody else. And if you realize the photo up there, I'm using the same coat. That is because I don't have many clothes. On a usual day, I am in jeans and t-shirt. Reason being, in my university, students don't apply to study. I have to go and look for them. So I go into villages. I sometimes take the boat or the truck to go and identify students who should be studying but have chosen not to study because they want to help their families. So I run a university for the marginalized and the underserved. And our mission is very clear. We create opportunities and we transform lives. So when I go into the villages, I go and invite them to come and study with me. And a lot of times they will tell me, I don't want to study because I need to help my family, which is completely understandable. So we ask them, how much do you make? So if they say, I make 1,000 ringgit, so what we will do is we will bring them, we pay for their flights and their accommodation and everything, and we will put them in jobs. The objective here is very simple. We do not want you to lose an opportunity because of your socio-economic condition. Okay? I didn't come from a very rich family, but I think a lot of people, and by God's grace, people always helped me. So I tell people, when you have an opportunity, help. It can be the smallest thing. It can be giving them a ride to school, or buying them a book, buying them stationery. Doesn't matter. Just help. So we've decided that this is going to be what we do so that students don't lose an opportunity to study, right? But that's not what I'm going to talk about today. I'm actually going to talk about the technological implications for the underserved communities. And whatever I'm going to speak about today is work that I've done with the underprivileged communities in Malaysia when we went to digital banking. So COVID was very good. It changed everything. It changed the way we thought. It changed the way we did things, and not gradually. It changed it at a mind-blowing speed, right? So the internet is going to stay, and I know Dr. Sharmila said it very well, that it's here to stay, and we all just have to embrace it. But ask yourself, how can someone embrace technology when they don't have connectivity? When they don't know how to read? When they don't know how to start their phone? As simple as that. So these are the kind of communities I work with. So the challenges that we have are quite real. So in Malaysia, this is some statistics for Malaysia. 95% of the Malaysian community is literate. That means they can read and write, right? But 1 out of 3 Malaysians only are financially literate. So it's quite a different statistics. And you all are commerce students, right? Yes? No? Are you all students? Who's in IT? 2 in IT. Who's in commerce? Who is in... All commerce. Well, why don't you put up your hand? Didn't have breakfast. Who's in commerce? Okay, that's very good. So in commerce, do you study financial literacy? Yes? Yes? Who is Sanjay? Do you have a Sanjay? Do you have a Sanjay in the group? Okay. I'm going to talk to you about this. The technological advancement in Malaysia banking sector that significantly impact marginalized communities. Digital banking. When Malaysia started digital banking, a lot of marginalized communities couldn't get on to digital banking. A lot of marginalized communities couldn't get on to digital banking. Can you tell me why? Why do you think they couldn't get on to digital banking? Yes? Anyone? Why do you think people couldn't get on to digital banking? No answer. Okay, I'll keep the question and answers for later then. You are very quiet students. They are. Okay, good. Well, they couldn't get onto digital banking because they didn't have connectivity in their villages. There's no internet in their village. They couldn't get onto digital banking. Empowerment through education, financial literacy. There are a lot of them who don't understand money. So we have different colored notes in Malaysia. Green, blue, purple, orange. So in order for us to do a savings plan, we ask them to save by color. So when you do business and you find your first orange note, save it. Because they don't read numbers, they don't read words. So they go by colors. So these are some of the broad things that people don't really look at when you move into the technological space. But the community I deal with is very real, and we really need to think of very innovative ways to help them through this process. Financial inclusion, e-wallets. You know, in India, you have your Google Pay, your Paytm, and all that. In Malaysia, we do have that. We have Grab Pay, we have Boost, we have lots of others. But there's so many communities that don't understand, because if they don't touch and feel the money, they don't believe they have money, right? So ask yourself, as students who are going to graduate, how would you now think of bringing these people into this fold? We do microfinance with them. And a lot of them don't understand the concept of microfinance, right? The banks in Malaysia have microfinance through the internet, through the mobile. You can ask for a loan through the mobile. They don't understand that concept. They don't understand the concept of interest, concept of returns, right? For the poorer communities, we have tailored financial products. So what we do is, when they live in villages, the access to their banks very far. They have to drive 100 kilometers or 200 kilometers before they reach the closest bank. So we work with shops, we work with grocery stores to become their bank. So they put the money there. And most of them put their money in Milo tins. They put their money in tins, right? Under the bed or wherever. A few years ago in Malaysia, we had massive floods. And so when I went to help at the floods, everybody was looking for a tin. And we were all wondering why they were looking for their tin. Their entire life savings is kept in a tin. And it floated away in the flood. Right? Because they don't see the concept of, I have money, 100 rupees on my phone. I don't know what it is. But if I'm holding 100 rupees, I understand what it is. Do you see the difference between that? Yeah? And when you go digital, of course you lower the cost of transaction, right? Because things are done faster, you don't have to pay people. But what happens to them? Their costs become much more higher because they have to go to places where there's connectivity. They have to buy a mobile. I think in Malaysia, there are communities that don't own a phone. Right? They don't have a bank account, they don't own a phone. It could be quite different in India. I did part of my PhD in the slums in Mumbai. And when I was there, everybody had 2 phones. They have more phones than people. So it's quite different in Malaysia. In Malaysia, people sometimes don't even own a phone. Right? So when you focus on the marginalized and in the digital context, you look at two things. One is accessibility, one more is digital literacy. If you don't have both of that, there's always a gap, right? So in Malaysia, the government does a lot of things. We set up tele-centers, we set up internet kiosks, we set up everything. But we spend very little time in teaching people literacy. So we've got the technology, we've got the space, we've got the equipment, but we lack in the knowledge, okay? So this is always going to be the gap. So this is the communities I work with. These are real photos. So the student on here is now my final year student. We had to go to his house, I think, 6 times before he agreed to come and study. Can you imagine the resilience of us going and talking to him? I ended up knowing how to weave a basket because I actually have to sit with him, right? And I tell him, can you teach me how to do this? And then we would talk about it. And then I say, finally, after 6 visits, will you come and study with me? Yes. Very good. So what we have done is we've asked him to bring his trade back to the city. So now he teaches groups of women how to make these baskets. And we now have a supply chain to sell it. So you see the innovation in getting them to come to the city is not just to study, because you need money. So we teach you how to make the money, but you must study, okay? So he's doing very well now. And this is his father, who used to chase me out of the house, now invites me for dinner, which is a progress in my life. So this boy is now studying with me. He's finished his undergraduate. He's doing his master's. So we had to go to his village, and he didn't have water and electricity. So he doesn't have water and electricity. How does he do digital banking? Right? All his money is kept in the house. So he now, you see these boxes? He's an indigenous boy. So the indigenous industry actually has very nice produce from the forest. So he now collects things from the forest and he markets it. So he's an entrepreneur on his own, right? So once he's come to the city, he now does the digital banking. He moves into the digital space. And this is a group of ladies, and they are all mothers of my students. Why do we work with them? Because they are the ones who have allowed their children to study, right? So what we do for them in return is we help them with what they are doing. So if they are making biscuits, we now help them with a process and how to make the biscuits better, how to sell the biscuits on Facebook, etc. So you must realize, while we slowly bring everybody into the digital space, it involves the entire family, from the child to the parent to the little kids. If I only take one person out of the equation, these projects will fail. You need the entire ecosystem. You need the mother to call the son and say, please study. Because you're in that university, they are helping me sell my cookies. So we connect all the dots. Okay? And when you speak to all of them before they come and get an education, they will tell you that there is great digital divide. All of you are far greater than my students because you probably can use technology much better than them. Complexity. For those who don't know how to read and write, can you imagine doing digital banking? Right? They struggle. And trust issues. You just have to have one person in the community who gets scammed. The whole community will drop that digital banking process. And scams are very real. Unfortunately, scammers target my community. They target those who don't know. And they struggle, right? Some of these students, once they come out, they get a credit card, and by 24, they are declared bankrupt. And I think this is something for all of you. When you go out to work, the first thing the banks are going to do is give you a credit card. And the first time in your life you'll be able to spend without thinking. It's just a swipe away. And in Malaysia, by the time youth are 24, they go bankrupt. So I always tell people, use cash when you first start work. Okay? So let's look at a gradual transition to digital acceptance. Everybody needs a fair chance. So as students, and this I invite the students as well as the faculty, think of solutions that are creative, that would allow people to gradually transition to digital. Do it as a project. And this is the model that we use. Right? The central bank in Malaysia also uses this model. It is the first 3 letters of my name. Values, influence, and norms. VIN. And the 4th is also the letter of my name, which is I. So if you want to make a change in people, hold on to their values. Hold on to your values. Right? If you go into a village and you tell someone, tomorrow you have to go digital, you have shaken them thoroughly. You need to work with their values. Also work with who influences them. Ask yourself in your life, who has influenced you? Could be your mother, could be your father, it could be your neighbor, it could be your teacher. Right? People who influence you make the most impact. Okay? And if you do what you're doing and you create a norm, that becomes a habit, correct? If I tell you every day, can you save 10 rupees? Yes or no? Can you save 10 rupees? Yes, it's quite easy, right? Ask yourself, do you do it? Do you consciously every day save 10 rupees? Yes? No? It's a very easy thing to do. So ask yourself why you don't do it. You're all very digitally savvy. Why don't you just put 1 ringgit into a different account, 10 rupees into a different account, every day? If you do it every day, it becomes a norm. And then, at the end of the month, you see an impact, right? So this is the model that I have patented. It's the first 4 letters of my name. And we use it for transformation, as a transformation framework for leadership. We use it as a transformation framework for the marginalized communities, right? And that is how the university is run, basically with this framework. Okay? So what values means is actually to create and hold on to the values of your community, and this will always make a difference. So if you're students of such a fantastic university, what values do you hold on to? Appreciate and recognize people who have contributed. The smallest thing, right? Or the biggest thing. So I can't stand here and say something that you're doing is very small, because I am in no position to do that, right? Just because I stand on stage doesn't mean I am better than anybody else. I'm not. Because it's a relative perspective, right? And norms. What you do for norms always build trust. And I tell people, celebrate it. Do you celebrate small successes? Right? Every student that comes to us, we celebrate that step. We celebrate that you've made one decision in your life, which is to come and study. When they come in for the orientation, we call it the wow orientation. Right? We call it wow is because it's welcoming week. Okay? So everybody that makes that decision is celebrated. And the students feel very, very appreciated when you celebrate it. And I tell this to everybody when they save money. If today you have 0, at the end of the month you have 30. That is a celebration, right? Don't miss out that celebration. So there are positives and negatives to it. As Dr. Sharmila said, there's no way we're going to run away from technology. We have to embrace it. But you need to embrace it with a framework. So how many of you can come up with a plan to help someone who is illiterate to get onto technology? I think that's an important thing for students, right? And the negative is, of course, it's more expensive. You have to buy equipment, you have to change your mindset, and there's always going to be a divide. As of today, I use a phone that is 1 ringgit. Everybody around me uses an iPhone. I don't use an iPhone because I think my 1 ringgit phone, you know, they have the plans that you get a free phone, right? I always use a free phone because it can do the same function. So ask yourself, how would you make an impact to the next individual? Whether it's technology or non-technology, really doesn't matter. So are we there yet in terms of making a change, changing framework? If we want to make things different, you must have leadership and purpose. And I'm not talking about leadership as in your teachers. Each one of you is a leader on your own, right? Ask yourself, how would you brand yourself? If you're going out to work, the employers don't have to hire you. They don't need to hire you. They got so many people. But what would make them want to hire you? What is your brand? You need to think about it. What is your personal brand? Right? And what is your purpose? And in all my interviews, when I interview, I sit on a panel to interview people for an oil and gas company. And the first thing I ask them, which will throw them off balance, and these are first-class engineers or whoever, I ask them, so what's the latest book that you have read? And most of them won't have an answer. Or I will ask them, what inspired you to wear this shirt to the interview? 9 out of 10 people won't be able to answer me because the shirt was picked out by the parents. The mother ironed the shirt and left it there. You must remember, when you wear something, it is your brand. How you carry yourself is your brand, right? So always remember, what kind of leader are you and what is your purpose? The other one is people and mindset. People will always judge you, always. Remember that, and it's okay. It is their right to judge you. So if you hold on to your values, that judgment will never waver, right? People will always have a mindset of, oh, this is Vinita, this is what she does. She's very strict, right? She doesn't always smile at people. And this is what my students tell me when I teach. They'll say, Prof, why don't you smile? I said, I teach consolidation. When my brain works, I cannot smile. If I'm smiling, you know my brain is not working, right? So people look at me and say, this is how we have painted her. And you got to live with it, because that's the world. Then you have technology and reach. So if you are very good with technology, how are you helping someone else? Right? What do you do with this kind of knowledge? If you're an accountant, how do you help people in a village? Okay? I'm a chartered accountant, so I can use that as an example. Do you know, when I started my career as an auditor, the auditors were treated the worst, right? Because you have to check everybody's work. So companies don't really like you. So I remember once I asked, can I have the receipt or the voucher for this? And the guy took me to a room. He opened the room, and there were about 20 cupboards in it. And he said, look for it. Right? People are not willing to always help you. What you have in a university is the best, because your teachers go out of the way to help you. Okay? And before I end, I just want to go back to the framework. If all of you are thinking of how to write a purpose statement for yourself, that means how to create a brand for yourself, use this framework. Ask yourself, what are my values? Who influences me? Who or what influences me the most? And what's my norm? Right? And what kind of impact do I intend to make? This will create your personal brand. And students, I must tell you that your personal brand will change according to your life changes. When I was younger, my personal brand was, I will become manager at the accounting firm by 26. Because I wanted to buy a car, I wanted to send money back to my mother, That first few years of my life was all about making money. And it's fine. Nobody says it's not. It's okay. But hold on to your values. You can make money, but hold on to this framework. Today, my life has changed. Today, I sit in a space of joy because my purpose, my passion, and my profession are all aligned. right? So this is a happy space for me. I love what I do. I don't get a lot of money doing it. I have a lot of white hair doing it. But it does bring me joy in what I'm doing. So use this framework and write out your purpose statement. And I'm going to leave you with this. If you are very clear with your purpose statement, you would have no issue in branding yourself. Right? And now people are very, very technologically savvy. You post things on Facebook, you post things on LinkedIn, you post things on whatever else social media. Remember that when we hire people, we always have someone to scan the social media. Because what you say on paper must tally with what I see on social media. So, digital can be good and bad, right? If every time on social media you are very negative, but then when you come for an interview, you say, I'm the most positive person in the whole world, we will tally it with your social media. So you must be very careful. Who you are must be the same all the time, especially when you're trying to look for a job and you're new to the job space. So be very mindful what you post on social media, what you post on LinkedIn, whether it is personal or professional, all companies actually look at it. Right? I've digressed a little because ma'am asked me to speak about branding, personal branding, right? So, any questions? You know, I got up at 1:45 this morning to take a flight to come here to speak to a hall full of very quiet people. Do me a favor by making this the most useful trip. Ask me one question. Anybody? What is the worst that can happen? One question to make my trip worth it. Because after this, they're sending me back to the airport to go home. Are you all always this quiet in classes? Really? One question? Okay. Faculty?
Ma'am, you can take this question on behalf of our students and on behalf of KPR CAS. And while we were speaking, you told that your mom gave you 3 choices. One is maths, law, and accounts, and you finally settled in accounts. And now you say that you are in a space of joy, confined to a very small room, doing something which is soul-filling or whatever. So what made you to transit from a young girl who wanted to earn more, have big houses, to a person what you are now?
Thanks. Yeah. Just now I was telling the faculty that when I went to university, I went to do economics because I love it, right? And I was in Australia, and my mother calls me one day, and this is in 1980, so we don't have the mobile phone. So I have to stay at the phone booth for my mother to call me. And she calls me once in 3 months because it's expensive. So she calls me one day and she says, so what are you doing actually? So I said, oh, economics. She said, no, you cannot do economics because I don't know what it is. She said, you either do law, medicine, or accounting. So until today, I will do anything my mother asked me to, right? Hence why I'm here after living in Australia for so many years. Because one day she calls me and she says, why don't you come back? So I have come back. The question is, why did I move from a very nice career in accounting to what I do today? I transitioned from accounting to working in the United Nations, getting spat at. When I do community work, people don't appreciate it. I have got multiple police reports on me because people think I take their money when I help them with financial literacy. And during the tsunami, I did some work in Andaman. And that's when I carried somebody's child to feed. And the lady actually spat at me. Literally spat on my face. You can feel it run down. And I couldn't understand why she did that. And she said, you have come in for a short period to help, but we are going to struggle for the rest of our lives. I think, ma'am, that was really quite a turning point in my life when I realized, yeah, I can do small things in pockets, but what is it that I can do consistently to ensure that that help happens every day? So that's how I moved. And today, I don't earn a lot of money, hence why I wear the same jacket all the time when I'm let out of the university. I spend very little money because you will realize that at the end of the day, you can only eat one plate of whatever you're eating, right? You can buy a Prada shoes, you can buy a Michael Kors handbag, or you can use my handbag, which is very hardy. It doesn't even have a brand, but it keeps my money, right? But having said that, it is only that turning point when I realized that if I want to do good, I have to do good all the time. But I don't insist that everybody do that, right? So to answer your question, that was the reason, yeah? Okay, ma'am, is there anything else? Global opportunities, yes. So ma'am asked me to speak about global opportunities. And I want to tell you this, opportunities are there all the time. It is how you brand yourself so that people will look at you and say, you stand out. Okay? The university I run has 100% employability. And I tell you how we do this. A 3-year program, every student will meet 10 different collaborators a year. So whether it's people from the industry, it's an entrepreneur from the street, it's a roadside trader, it's a businessman, whoever. The only request I ask my students when we make an effort to bring in collaborators is ask questions. Because you stand out differently when you ask questions. Okay? Because if you're sitting and just listening, you're the same as everybody else. But when you ask questions, whoever the speaker is will actually remember you. And this we have known because after every session, the speakers will come and tell us, you know, this student, I would like their CV. This, very interesting. So there is a reason why the academics bring in people, is for you to actually sell yourself. right? By asking questions. You can ask any question. There's no question that is irrelevant. There's no question that is stupid. There's no question that doesn't make sense. Okay? So, and now global opportunities. I'm a small town, poor Indian girl who got an opportunity to work in Australia. I have now worked in Africa, in Australia, in Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam, and Malaysia. Simple. You need to be able to brand yourself. You need to be able to go to symposiums like this and actually ask questions. That's when the learning happens. Okay? The opportunities are everywhere. We've got MBA students studying in my university who's actually working with our companies. While they are studying, they're actually working. All right? Okay. Oh, fantastic, you made my day. So can you tell me your name?
Sahana.
Sahana, what's your question?
Yeah, you've been doing many social works, right, ma'am? You also said that you are facing many problems while doing the social service. What will motivate you to move forward and continue doing your social service? What thing will motivate you? How will you go, continue those social works?
Okay, very good question. You're clapping because I said one question and I'm going to keep quiet, right? So it's very simple. I'll give you an example. I do a breakfast program, and I have 80 ladies who actually cook for the program. And the one thing I ask them to do is, when you get money, 20% must go into savings, right? And we give them a passbook. No card, no digital banking, nothing. Passbook, but we keep the passbook. Because we want to create a norm for saving, right? Because saving is quite difficult. So 80% they spend, 20% they save. Easy concept, right? So out of the 80 ladies that I work with, I have got 13 who have reported me to the police, right? And they reported me to the police because they said, oh, this Indian lady is taking my money. Actually, I'm not taking their money, right? Because it's in the passbook. But because their husbands come back, and you see influence is very important. The husbands come back and say, hey, I saw her driving a good car. She must be using your money. So I got a call from the police station. I have to go to the police station. And your question is, why do I still do it? Okay? 13 people have complained. I work with 80 people. Why would I stop working because of 13 when the rest are working? Right? So it all matters whether you see the positive or you see the negative. But I can tell you it is very painful when you try and help people and they don't appreciate it. But you still go on. But trust me, many times I've told myself, stop it. Just give up. I can just go on a holiday back in the Kerala backwaters and just relax. Why should I actually do this? Right? And just now I showed you a picture of the ladies, right? So these ladies at the bottom, they are on my savings plan. So one of them sells bananas in the market, and the other one does banana, what do you call parampuri here? Banana bhajis? Fried bananas, banana fritters, right? What is it called? Okay. No, one of them sells bananas in the market, and another actually makes banana fritters. So we connect them together, and when the bananas are rotting, they give it to her to make her banana cakes or banana fritters. So among all these ladies, the one consistent thing is savings. We always tell them to save. And while I put this picture up, this project has failed. I have done a total of 97 projects, and 53 of them have failed. Right? So ask yourself, every time a project fails, do you continue with a new project or do you just give up? Did you get your answer? Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? No? Okay, ma'am. Yes. Okay. The question is, as Vice Chancellor, how do I manage academics, social service, and it's one, right? I don't see it as separate things. I run a university for the marginalized, so I help these people as a process, and in return, their children come and study with me, right? I do things on the side where if there's a disaster, like there's an earthquake in Nepal, they will call me and I will go. I do that because people need my help, right? It is just what I like doing. The difficulty in running a university like this is I still have to pay people money. I still have to pay wages, right? So that's when your chartered accounting brain kicks in. This university has never made a loss. Never. In all the years that it's running, it has never made a loss. I have never not paid salary to any staff. And I'll tell you why. Without my staff, there's no university. Right? During COVID, I took a 70% pay cut. My senior leadership took a 50% pay cut. Nobody else had money cut from them, right? So, going back to what I said just now, leadership and purpose. There are certain things you have to do as a leader. One, you must know how to look after your staff, right? Because they all have families. So, you must never, ever disadvantage your staff. And as a business, you need to ensure that you always make money. So I have funders who fund our programs. I have collaborators. I have retired professors who teach for free because they want to give back to society, right? So I give them an honorarium, I don't give them a salary. And that is really how we keep it going, right? And all the students who have an entrepreneurship startup through the university gives the university back 20% to fund the next student, right? So we pay it forward. If your businesses work, you fund the next student. But they don't fund my salary. Okay? Does that answer your question? Yeah. Yes.
What kind of job you suggest for an undergraduate student in IT or commerce sector?
What kind of job? Well, it depends. What kind of job can you excel in? Which job can you do best? Right? I can't say IT or I can't say commerce because if you don't like numbers, do you think you're going to excel in commerce? You may not. So the job is not the most important. How you do the job is most important. So your attitude to the job, okay? So we now have this whole thing about work-life balance. If you work a little harder, everybody has a mental health issue. I will tell you how my mother used to deal with a mental health issue. She would just slap me, right? But now it's become such a big thing that in all organizations, we really have to look after the staff. So if you work in IT, how much of yourself can you give to the organization? If you work in commerce, how much can you give? It's all about you. It's not about the company. It's not about the industry. It is about you. Remember, you are the one person that you are looking after, right? So ask yourself, what will make you happy? When I worked in accounting, we didn't have a life. In accounting, you stay up, you work really, really hard, right? But what did that teach me? It taught me resilience. So now when I go into villages and I don't have a bed to sleep, I'm quite okay because I can sleep on the floor, right? So ask yourself, if you now go to work, and if I send you on a project to a village, are you going to embrace it or are you going to complain about it? That is what you need to understand. It is not about whether I want to work in Infosys or I want to work in Ernst & Young or I want to work in Pricewaterhouse. How much can I give to my organization? Right?
Thank you.
But if you ask me, I'm quite biased, I will think it's commerce. Because that's my space. Sorry, ma'am. Right? But I think IT is good. I cannot decide for you. Does that make sense? You must remember that nobody can decide what you're doing. You have to decide. Okay? All right. Okay. Thank you very much. And if you have other questions, you can ask me later.
Thank you, ma'am, for your inspiring words and valuable insights. We are greatly appreciate your time and the knowledge you have shared with us today. I believe your core values and technological implications will create a great impact in our academics and personal growth. Thank you, ma'am.
Feeling gratitude and not expressing it is like wrapping up the present and not giving it. May I now request Mr. A. Srinivasan, Assistant Professor, Department of BCom Information Technology, to deliver the vote of thanks.
A very good afternoon to everyone. On behalf of Commerce family, I am proposing this vote of thanks. So first and foremost, I would like to express our sincere thanks to our chief guest, Dr. Vinita Guptan, Vice Chancellor, Saito University of College, Malaysia, for your inspiring and insightful address. Your thoughts on the technological transformations within the banking, financial services, and insurance sector have opened up a new perspective for all of us. And a special mention of gratitude to Madam Gayatri Anandakrishnan, Secretary of KPR College of Arts, Science and Research, for your presidential address. Your vision and words have provided a clear path forward as we embrace technological innovation in the banking, financial services, and insurance sector. Thank you, ma'am. Although our principal, Dr. P. Geeta, is unable to join us today, we would like to thank Principal Ma'am for her continuous guidance and support in fostering academics, excellence, and innovation at KPR College of Arts, Science, and Research. Her leadership remains a driving force behind all of our initiatives. And we would like to thank Dr. K. Gomita Devi, Dean, School of Commerce, and mother of all of us, for your encouraging leadership and for providing an insightful symposium overview, offering a clear framework for our learning today. Thank you, ma'am. And I am proposing a heartfelt thanks to Dr. P. Sharmila, Dean, School of Computing Science, KPR College of Arts, Science and Research, for your encouraging felicitation address. Your recognition of the collaborative efforts of all the departments is greatly appreciated. Thank you, ma'am. I extend my sincere appreciation to all the esteemed speakers and participants who have shared their knowledge with us today. Your contribution have significantly enriched the symposium and expanded our understanding of the banking, finance, and insurance sectors' evolving landscape. Once again, thank you all for making this symposium a memorable and enlightening experience. Let us continue to work together towards shaping the future of technology in the banking sector. Thank you and have a great day ahead. And a special mention to the MOC team. There are some people here. So thank you all. Jams.
Thank you for proposing the vote of thanks, sir.
Student participants are requested to stay back for a moment. Here is the event venue for your guidance.
Case study analysis in boardroom, brain teaser in Falcon Hall, debugging in Lab 3. These are for technical events. I repeat, case study analysis, boardroom, brain teaser in Falcon Hall, and debugging in Lab 3. These are for technical events.
For non-technical events, connection, auditorium, the same hall. And for meme creation, Lab 2, Adoptune Seminar Hall. I repeat, connection, auditorium, meme creation, Lab 2, Adoptune Seminar Hall. The venues are displayed in the projector. And if you need any assistance, please do approach the volunteers with the badge.
Please assemble in your designated venues within 15 minutes, as late comers will not be permitted. I repeat, please assemble in your designated venues within 15 minutes, as late comers will not be permitted. Additionally, all participants are required to return to the auditorium by 3 p.m. for the valedictory session. All students are invited to take a break. Refreshments have been arranged near the seminar hall. I repeat, refreshments have been arranged near the seminar hall. Thank you.